like waves into motion, like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on. Starting right now. I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song, and I don't really care about in me.
Good evening to you. It's another Tuesday evening and we are live on Joy 99.7 FM. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. Geek Squad is brought to you by MTN everywhere you go. Every year in January on the 28th, we celebrate the Data Privacy Day or Data Protection Day. And this is usually done to raise global awareness about the importance of protecting personal information. Sometimes we share certain information about ourselves and we may not really know the effect of what we are doing. Tonight on the show, we'll be discussing the theme for this year, which is your data, your identity, building trust in Ghana's digital future. And I have with me two gentlemen who will be having the conversation with me. But before we get into that and I introduce them, we would like to share with you what has been happening in the tech space. So take a listen to the emerging tech trends. We will be back after that.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Emerging Tech Trends on Joy Geek Squad. My name is Denisia Poma Eje. In our headlines, Meta pauses teen access to AI characters. Also, YouTube will let creators use AI likenesses in shorts. TikTok has been hit by global outage. And finally, Microsoft Paint can now make AI coloring books. Let's settle for the details now. Meta has temporarily blocked teenagers from interacting with its AI characters while it works on a redesigned, safer experience for young users, expanding its parental control efforts. YouTube plans to allow creators to use AI-generated versions of themselves in shorts alongside new AI tools for interactive content as part of its broader creator strategy. TikTok has experienced widespread issues over the past few days, with users reporting problems loading comments in the For You feed, marking another major disruption for the platform. Microsoft has added a new AI feature to Paint that lets users generate printable coloring book-style images from text prompts, continuing its push to modernize classic Windows apps. And that's it for this week's episode of Emerging Tech Trends on Joy Geek Squad. My name is Denisia Poma Eje. I will catch you same time next week.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. Geek Squad is brought to you by MTN everywhere you go. Tonight we are having a conversation which is going to be ahead of tomorrow, being 28th of January, the Data Protection Day. And the theme for this year is your data, your identity, building trust in Ghana's digital future. I have with me two gentlemen. One of them is more or less a regular guest and the other is pretty new. But both of them are knowledgeable in this particular area, and so we are going to be getting into the conversation. I have with me Emmanuel Gadasu, and he's the president of Ghana Association of Privacy Professionals. Emmanuel, you're welcome.
Thank you.
I was going to say Happy New Year, but it's already past that time, so I'm not going to say that. I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing great.
Good to have you back. I also have with me Mr. Quentin Akroboto, and he is the Director of Compliance Data Protection Commission. You're welcome, Quentin.
Thank you, Akusia.
Adobea. Good to have you here. All right. For you listening in, you can join in the conversation on the WhatsApp number 055 1111 997 055 1111 997. We are in a space where there's a lot of talk on data, a lot of talk on information. And for us on Geek Squad, it's one of the conversations that I know that we usually spend so much time talking about. It's mainly because we want to raise the awareness of our listeners so that they are able to protect themselves well when it comes to data privacy and also the security of their personal data or information. This year's theme, I'll start first with you, Emmanuel, is your data, your identity. Why is this framing especially relevant for Ghana at this particular stage where we are talking a lot about digital information and things to do with technology and basically digital things?
Okay, thank you, Adobea, and great to be back again.
Yeah.
Yes, the theme is very important because Ghana is set to add itself to the digital domain of the world. We cannot be left out. And we have been parts. We have taken baby steps, and I think it's time, and the time has come for Ghana to fly with it. However, going out there, we need to ensure that the citizens of Ghana are well protected, whatever service they use in Ghana, whether it is built by Ghanaians or something, a technology or a service that we are consuming. Every Ghanaian must be protected. And Ghana is protecting Ghanaians, or the authorities of Ghana are protecting Ghanaians through the Data Protection Commission, which is mandated by law to ensure that every citizen is protected, regardless of wherever our data is used, for whatever purpose, it must be still protected. So I think in line with that, the commission coming out with this team is to prepare the minds of people, data controllers and data processors, that this is the direction we are going. And they also want to assure Ghanaians that, hey, go ahead, consume the services that you want to consume, sign up, do everything, we day your back. Yes, so I think that is why this framing is quite very important for this year.
Okay, all right. Quentin, many Ghanaians still think that data is just information. I mean, when they hear data, it's like, it's information. What's the big deal in sharing this or sharing that? So how does personal data become part of one's identity? Like when we talk about someone's personal data, because the theme is more your data, your identity. Yeah. How does personal data become one's identity, and why should citizens even care about it?
Okay, so thank you, Adobea. Indeed, personal data is information that can identify individuals, but truth be told, personal data goes beyond one's information. It is what defines you as an individual. It is what defines your personality. It is who you are. It tells a story about who you are within a society that you find yourself. So this theme that we came up with, as Emmanuel said, is actually to emphasize the importance that comes along with processing personal information of individuals. Because let me put it in a pictorial way, in terms of a story. If I say she's beautiful, she wakes up in the morning and goes to multimedia, and she hosts Geek Squad, someone can pick this information and identify you. So personal information, personal data goes beyond the information that we always refer it to. It goes to the heart of someone's privacy. It identifies who you are. And that is why the theme we have come up with is actually designed to emphasize the importance that we need to attach to the processing of personal information, and why individuals must also take this seriously and ensure that at any point in time that we are letting out our information, we have the assurance that the people we are giving our information to have the right approvals and capacity to protect it.
Got it. Mano, anything to add to that? Because I know that, I mean, when it comes to some of these discussions, we've done quite a number of
Yeah.
conversations like that here on the show. So talking about it now, is data just information like some people think? And what should we let them know as listeners? What should we let them know about it? How that is also linked to the identity? Anything to add to what Quentin has shared?
Yes, to the ordinary person, my phone number, what is it? Let me give it to the person. They need it. I'll just fill the form and then go my way. But beyond that, like Director of Compliance has said, beyond that, it is who you are. That is your personhood you are giving out there. And it comes with its own consequences. So see your personal data as your digital self that you are putting out there, that you are giving out there. So if you yourself, physically, anybody can abuse you, the same way your data can also be abused. So that is indirectly or directly your personhood. That's your digital identity. So whatever abuse can be done to you physically, electronically, online, through services, you can also equally be abused. And that boils down to your fundamental human right, which is your privacy. And that is the most important thing everybody would want to protect at any point in time. It leads to so many things. Identity theft. Could you imagine somebody having you in his pockets, on his platform, in his diary, in his systems, and these platforms or these avenues are not giving the full protection? It can lead to several consequences. You'll be abused, misused, and anything can happen out of those things.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, talking about the fact that based on what kind of information is out there, you can be abused or that information can be misused. Can we talk about what trust then means in a digital society? I'll start first with you, Emmanuel. And who bears the greatest responsibility for building and sustaining that trust? Because, I mean, it's not like we can't share information at all. By all means, certain information you would have to share. But then what's, in your view, what does trust mean in a digital society? And then who really bears that responsibility when it comes to sustaining trust then?
Okay. So this trust is like I wake up, I go out to certain places, believing that those places are secured, safe for me to go. If there's curfew, now I've never witnessed any curfew in my life anyway, but per the stories I've heard, I think you can't go out. Or if you read the weather, or there's an announcement on JFM that, okay, there's something happening here, and it is not safe, I don't think any reasonable person would want to take that steps. So the trust we are talking about is that me going out there to subscribe to any service, me going out to any shop, any environment, online, digital service, to give out any information about myself, I believe that the one behind, or the person who has taken this information, is going to give it the needed protection, regardless, the needed protection, so that I will not be abused. My fundamental human rights, including my privacy, will not be abused. That is the trust we are talking about. And the onus lies on whoever is collecting that information. Whether you are an individual, an institution, the Data Protection Commission would hold you responsible to ensure that whatever you have collected is given the adequate protection. In terms of its use, it's lawful within the confines of our Ghanaian law, which in this respect is the Act 843. So you can't do anything beyond that. Once you collect it, be ready to protect it and give it the full protection that it needs. Yes.
So for someone listening in to us, what should they look out for to trust the person or the institution that they know that they are sending their information to or giving out their information to?
Okay. So, number one, that institution must be registered with the Data Protection Commission. Without registration, you have already violated the law.
So for someone, they have to check this registration.
Yes. So check whether that institution is registered. All registered institutions are listed on the website of the Data Protection. So you can check at any point in time to ensure that they are compliant by registration. And the way they keep the information, you raise alarm. If, for example, you are writing names and it's just on a sheet of paper, everybody can have access to it without any proper controls in place, you can raise the alarm. Okay, if they are collecting the data, there are some basic questions you can ask. Okay, why are you collecting the information? You know, mostly the moment you begin to hear management has asked us to collect it, then they don't know what they are doing. Because for whatever reason, management should be able to tell you the reason why.
So what I'm hearing is, as management, if you know there is a need to collect certain information from people, you should let that reason cascade down to the people
Yes.
who are taking.
So your
the information.
frontliners should be able to explain to any customer, any client, any individual whose data they are collecting, why they are collecting the data. If they can't answer, that means that organization either they have not registered or have registered and have not trained their employees or staff to be able to do that. Then another basic question, who are you going to share the data with? How long are you going to use? These are fundamental questions that anyone should be able to ask.
We should ask when information is being.
Why? Yes, at the point of collection.
Why are you taking it?
Why are you taking it? Who are you going to share it with? How long are you going to be keeping the data? And if I want to exercise my rights, what is the process? So these are very fundamental questions that every Ghanaian should ask. Don't be bothered about this saying you are too known. You know, why are you here? Who do you think you are? Those questions, don't be bothered about. You see, when you are exercising your rights, let nobody, intimidate you. It is a right is a right, and you should be able to exercise that at any point in time. Yes.
I'm coming back to you now, Quentin. How will someone check? Because I've been to certain places, they ask you for some information. And depending on who you are, maybe you can ask the questions that you're asking. But for someone, they don't even have the time to check. So is that not the work for the Data Protection Commission to maybe take on that? If this business is taking this information, we should check and make sure that they are registered.
Yes, thank you, Adobea, once again. It is true. It's the work of the commission to ensure that institutions that collect personal information demonstrate accountability to the citizenry and then individuals whose data they process. So, like Emmanuel said, the Act mandates the creation of a register and puts the commission in charge of that register and actually requires of every institution that collect or process personal information to be registered. So that is your first call of demonstration of accountability, that you are registered with the commission. What perhaps the Act didn't add to that is the display of the certificate. But that is currently being remedied. I don't know if you've heard about the privacy seal. Privacy seal is a mark that you put in your office or, in your institution to show that you have actually brought your processing activities under the radar of the commission. So that the individual, like you mentioned, it's not everyone that will gather the courage to ask. Or perhaps, truth be told, even if you ask that individual, like he said, perhaps they are not knowledgeable. They may tell you, I don't know whether we are registered or not. And indeed, any institution that knows that they are not registered, if you ask them, they may tell you, we are registered. Can you prove it?
Exactly.
You can't prove it.
How do you
So that is what the privacy seal is coming to remedy. So the seal is such that it comes along with a QR code with the logo of the commission, and when you scan, it displays the name of the institution, whether they have been approved or they have been certified by the commission, and how or when their certification is going to expire.
Okay,
So at least you don't need to ask anyone, just scan it. In fact, the first stage of it is to have it with a QR code, but the second phase of it actually is the USSD, where individuals can just check and then know the status of that institution as far as their registration with the commission is concerned. And the registration is very key when it comes to your journey to compliance, because if you are operating within the space and you don't bring your processes under the radar of the commission, one, you are operating unlawfully. And you are not demonstrating accountability. We are talking about trust here.
Yeah.
How do you want individuals whose information you are using for your business to trust that the information they are giving you, to have confidence that you are well able to protect it and secure their privacy? It's very important that businesses and institutions operating within the space, both private and public, identify this as what? Very, very necessary. A time will come, data protection will no longer be an optional thing for them. Last year was awareness creation. This year, we are enforcing the law. When we come to you and you don't have the set to show that you are validly registered with the commission, your certification is not expired, the commission will take you on. There are fines in the sanctions in the act that we are going to implement, and institutions must take this seriously.
As listeners, we have to take this seriously. And if you're also a business, when it comes to data protection, data privacy is something that we really need to take an extra look at and register if you're a business, especially an institution that is taking personal information from people. I'm coming back to you now, Emmanuel, from a professional and industry perspective. What are some common misunderstandings that you encounter when it comes to data protection and then privacy? Because, I mean, the example that you were giving earlier, some of the questions that you should even ask and all that. But in that field, what are some of the common misunderstandings that people usually have?
Okay. So a lot of management, board, have no clue what data protection is all about. They see data protection as a checklist. Oh, Abi is a government that needs it. Let's just go and register and then go. They also see it as a cost center. It's just coming to take money from.
Take money, expense.
Yes, and they see, some also see it as a regulatory burden. Oh, it's just one of those government agencies trying to, so let's just register and then have our peace.
Yeah.
But data protection goes beyond that. You see, the customers whom you are dealing with, their data needs to be protected. Can you imagine tomorrow morning I fill a form with you and the next day I find it with the Kofi Brookman seller? My name and everything.
CVs and things
Yes,
like that.
people's CV. And it is a very serious thing. So can you imagine that?
Yeah.
So beyond that, then let's look at the electronic ones, where you have no idea how the organization is going to use. So a lot of organizations misunderstand this, thinking it is just one of those. You see, the reason why data protection is quite different from all the other regulatory bodies is that it affects everybody. Okay, today you are a manager, you are a CEO in your company, but when you go to MTN, you are a subscriber.
Yeah, that's true.
Your data is there. You go to the hospital, you are a patient. From when you close from class, you go to GIMPA for a course. You are a student there.
Yeah.
So your data is also being used there.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you would expect some reciprocity. The way you are treating people's information in your organization, you would also expect to be treated the same way at the other side. Then a lot of people also do not know that data protection and their privacy is a right. And I'll give you an example.
Yeah, for the individuals.
When Ghana card were asked to link our Ghana card with our bank accounts, I went to my bank to do that. And I was given a whole form to fill again. I said, no, I didn't come here to update. Every information you have is correct. I came to link, just link it. They said, no, no, no. Unless I fill. I said, I am not here to fill. No, we ended up in the bank manager's office. I said, no, I'm never going to do that.
So they wanted you to fill a form,
Form.
that had more.
No, just
updates.
to fill the form so that they can do the linking
But your information is already
with the
there.
bank.
Okay.
That's why I never did it. How they managed to do it, I have no clue. But all I knew is that my bank account was linked to my Ghana card. But you see, like a lot of people who do not know this, and you go, they say fill, and I knew my rights, so I was just exercising
So
very.
it's a right. That's what you are saying.
Yes.
So if you're listening in, because you know your information is already there,
Yes.
there is no need for you to fill again.
I
Because
said,
this
I
second,
don't need an update. I'm not updating it. Whatever you have is correct. Keep
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you are saying that one is a right.
It's a right.
The information. So this is more like the information you give out at what time is a right to you.
Yes.
The
And if I also want to update at any point in time, you can't tell me you can't update.
Okay.
It is a right I have to exercise.
Okay.
And if I need access, I need a copy of it, I just have to simply tell you. And our Ghanaian law says within 21 days, you have to respond to me. Or in certain situations, 40 days. If you don't fulfill that, you are against the law. So you can't, if you hold my data, and remember it is my data, you are a fiduciary. You are only keeping it for me to provide the service. It doesn't mean it is your data. And also, some organizations also think that people's information is their data.
I get it.
But remember, it is the person's personal data. It belongs to them. You are only a fiduciary, or you are using it to provide services for them. It doesn't give you ownership of it. So you can't use it for anything that you want to do.
So that conversation, because sometimes the kind of SMSs you'll be receiving and things, we will come to that.
Yes.
All right. There's a question here, and I want us to touch on it.
Okay.
This person says the car insurance companies now ask for your Ghana card for insurance renewal. Is this not against the data protection law of Ghana? Didn't get your name. You can add your name when you send the message so that we can just mention that as well. So yes,
So
Emmanuel or Quentin, is it okay for insurance companies to ask for your Ghana card during insurance renewal? Quentin.
Okay, so I remember in 2020, July 2020, the then Vice President actually directed that for all financial transactions, the Ghana card should be used for validating of the individual and all that.
Okay.
So if it is just for, validating the individual to renew your policy, I don't think there is anything wrong with it, despite the fact that the institution already has your information.
All right.
Except that beyond the validation, they use it for something else, and that will be unlawful.
Okay.
Because that is not the purpose for which it was collected.
Okay. And just for information, I guess I'm not lawyers, so some of the questions, based on how they are, we should just know that they would respond to it based on their knowledge in the data protection, or data privacy side. All right. We also have another message from Nana Kwesi. The boss says, data issues have never been a big deal for many, and even worse today. Everything is taken for granted today. Example, you find yourself in spaces, say restaurants, etc., and you get folks taking pictures and videos of themselves with you in the background. When you ask that they delete because you can't be in it, they rather take offense. I don't have a problem with you chronicling all of you online, but I'm not interested, so make sure it doesn't capture me. What do you have to tell these people? And are there any legal remedies to that effect? I don't know whether you can speak to the legal part, but Emmanuel,
Yeah.
I know we've
yeah.
had the conversation around this before.
Yes.
If you mention an example like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you see, so that is your data. Your image is your data, and you have
Yeah.
absolute control over it. So once anybody, and you can see that
Reminded me of something. I'll say it afterwards.
once you can see maybe the angle of the camera for you say, hey, my friend, stop it. I don't want to be part. And that is your right.
Yeah.
So don't be perturbed whether the person is angry or not. Hey,
Yeah.
my image, do you know what the individual is going to use it for? You have no idea. tomorrow you are somewhere that you would actually wouldn't want to be.
It's
Just
true.
because somebody has taken their in their ecstasy or in their moment of joy, then you become a victim of that. No. It's your right. So
It's
just
true.
exercise it.
It's your
You
right.
don't
And this
do-
right, for me, I know I exercise it a lot. I've had
Yes.
programs I've attended, people finish making me up and they pull out their phones. I'm like, I'm sorry, no.
Yes.
It's not like you're even doing it
Yes.
for me for free.
Yeah.
I'm paying for it. So why would you just, I want to take a picture and go and post it? I'm sorry.
Yes.
One lady, I did it and she said, oh. And I said, I'm serious. Don't take any picture of me.
Yeah.
You've not even asked me. You don't do that. So I think it's about time. And like you're saying, some of these things are our rights. And we
Yes.
should be able to say it without, thinking
Fear
that
or
we
favor.
are exactly offending the person. It's
Yes.
your image. Wherever it's posted,
Yeah.
you have the right to say
Yes.
whether or not you
Yes,
want
and the remedy
that.
that a person can have. Yes, you see, because it's a right. If it's violated, what do you do?
If
as
it's,
we-
exactly. If, it's
If you
violated,
walked
what-
into the street and somebody slaps you, you have every recourse to go to the court to sue that person for any other compensation or what. So the same way it applies to your personal data as well.
Okay.
Once the person misuse it, once the organization misuse it, you have every right.
But this is the example of him being in the restaurant.
Yes.
And
So
he said, don't take me with don't take the picture with me in the background. How
Yes.
do you
So,
handle that?
so this is an individual, not even a restaurant or an institution. So just as Emmanuel explained, it's your right. When we say it's your right, it's not just a right in the Data Protection Act. It's a constitutional right, so it makes it fundamental.
Okay.
Because the 1992 Constitution, Section 18 of it,
Article 18
of it, Article 18.2,
yes.
does not allow for the interference of an individual's privacy.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter whether it's an institution or whoever is doing it. So long as I don't feel comfortable
Exactly.
to be in that image, you must respect my right and then actually delete and retake.
So what if the person
without
decides
me.
I won't do it?
No, so that is where Emmanuel said you have a right to report.
Okay.
You can lodge a complaint with the commission
Okay.
if, we can actually track that individual, we will track.
That's the thing.
Otherwise, you can report to the police, so the individual is made to actually delete. And if it can be established that some harm has been caused you as a result of that processing,
Okay.
the law also allows you to enjoy some compensation for that harm that has been caused you.
Okay. So you can report.
Yeah.
Interesting. But we just have to be even on the lookout for this, because sometimes you may not even realize it. There was one situation like that. You can be at a certain place and people are taking pictures, and before you know it has been posted somewhere, and you see yourself somewhere in the background. So what just happened here? So I think one thing that we sometimes fail to do here too is when people are attending programs. There are certain programs that before you attend, they'll let you consent to the fact that pictures will be taken over there.
Yes.
So that one, you know that can be in place. So at least on the other side of the coin, so if you know you're organizing a program and there will be a need for pictures, at least it can just be a one-liner there that I consent to the fact that pictures will be taken and the pictures can be used for so and all that.
One thing about data protection is about showing respect to your fellow human being.
And being transparent. when
And being
you do
transparent.
this.
So you know you are going to publish this on social media. Tell the people. It's not everybody that wants to be on social media.
That's true.
So tell them, okay, we are going to use it for this particular purpose. If the person willingly accepts, comes over, posts for you to take their picture, hooray. Nobody will be what? Offended about that.
Yeah.
But by surprise, I came to the occasion, all right. But before I realized
I'm somewhere.
I am somewhere which
People are
I do.
asking me.
Yes, I don't want to be, because these things have caused a lot of problems for several people,
Yeah.
and that's what we refer to as this privacy harm. And any harm that is caused any individual, you have a recourse for compensation
Yeah.
if it can be established.
That's so true, and it's really reminded me of something. That the fact that there was a program like that, those who consented to it and those who chose not to, when it was time for pictures, it was very clear that if you know you didn't consent to this clause, please, just step out. So we all have to be responsible. I think that's why we.
So henceforth, we should not just allow event organizers and other to just go scot-free.
got
No,
it.
let them know that I don't want to be part of it. How they manage to erase you from it, whether it has been printed or not, that is their work to do. so long as they did not seek your consent first. And whatever you have not consented, you have every right. You see, this is a constitutional right we are talking, right from 1992. It has been established. So just
Even
enjoy it
before
for it.
nowadays,
Yeah.
it's
So
all
just come and enjoy it, and then don't let any institution whatsoever individual intimidate you about that.
All right, we have a message from Sally. I said, good evening to you and your guest. This is really an insightful session, but I'd like to be enlightened on the following. How does the Commission intend to ensure effective compliance of institutions? So this compliance, I'll come to you, Quentin, on that, especially schools, hospitals, etc. And then the second question is, how long does it take for the Commission to respond to complaints regarding issues such as data access requests, among others? So I'll start with the compliance.
All right. So thank you very much. In terms of schools and then hospitals, yes, the Act actually mandates the Commission under Section 81 of the Data Protection Act at 843 to conduct compliance checks on institutions. So as I mentioned before, your first step towards compliance is to be registered with the Data Protection Commission. That is what demonstrates that you want to be supervised as far as your data processing activities are concerned. So our expectation will be that any educational institution, hospital facility will be registered with the Commission. Beyond this, then when you come to renew your license, there is a compliance process we take the institution through to ensure that they have implemented some level of compliance frameworks or governance frameworks to ensure that they are safeguarding personal information within their institution. But as I mentioned, Section 81 also allows that beyond these reviews, we also visit facilities to ensure that reports they send to us are actually not just texts, they are practical things that are on the ground that you can verify and be assured that they are taking people's privacy and personal information seriously. So in terms of compliance, this is how we can ensure. And also where we find that people are not complying, we take them on so long as the law allows that.
Okay. There was a second leg to that question. She was asking about how long it takes.
The DISA.
Okay, so the DISA, the data access request, actually does not come to the Commission.
Okay.
It goes to the institution you have given your personal. So if there is any request in respect of your information with an institution, you use the data subject access request to actually get access to that information. But it doesn't come to the Commission.
Okay.
It may come, or that issue may come to the Commission only in circumstances that the data controller or the institution you give the information to is not able to give back to you the information you gave to them or the request you have submitted to them. At that point, the Commission will come in.
Will step in. Okay. All right. We have another message from Jombua. I hope I got the name right. It says most of the schools sell our exam answer papers to Kofi Brookman. For any sanction on that? Is there any sanction?
Yes. So long as there's an identifying information, your index number is your personal data.
Okay.
And the school has no right to they can dispose it off in a reasonable and acceptable way, but not to be given to Kofi Brookman seller or any other institution so that's the misuse.
So to add to that, disposal of personal information is not just as we know it. I mean, like he said, you have disposed of it. It goes beyond just the disposal, because when you dispose, you are also mindful to ensure that you have evidence of that disposal. Because I will not take from an institution, we have disposed of it. In any case, is the disposal within your retention policy framework? You can't just dispose because you think, you no longer have need of the information, so you want to dispose of it. There must be a policy that guides how Section 24 of the Data Protection Act requires that you have a framework around how you dispose of information. And when you dispose of, there must be evidence of the disposal. At any point in time, when I come to you requesting for an information and you have disposed of it, don't just tell me, oh, we have disposed of it. I need the evidence. So you don't just dispose, you use institutions that are accredited or certified to dispose of information. So they can give you certificate of disposal to show as evidence. So should you find your information somewhere, you can hold that institution that dispose of the information on behalf of the organization responsible or accountable.
Okay. It means the right processes must be followed.
Yes. For data protection, it's all about processes and frameworks.
The organization doesn't follow it, then you have every right to also report them and then hold them responsible for whatever they did. Okay, we have another message. That what is Data Protection Committee or Commission when the apps on my phone can access anything on my phone? Example, photos, calls, contacts, and even access your camera, Wi-Fi, and can also access other phones that are connected to the Wi-Fi, including Bluetooth. Okay, so Google sent to me a message when I don't use SIM in my phone. He said Google sent him a message when he doesn't use SIM in his phone. Interesting. They should tell us what privacy they are talking about. This hour from Bogatanka. Okay, thank you. And one more thing, said. Okay, so one more thing. Asked. Okay, the visit. Okay, let me just get the message. Well, the visit their Snapchat and go to permissions. Then we should visit Snapchat, go to permissions. I bet you, if they care about their privacy, they will uninstall that app. So people should check their Snapchat, and then privacy. If they care about that, they will install the app.
Okay.
Yeah, Emmanuel.
You know, his question leads me to some time ago, I provided a service for somebody. I think I gathered them to register with the Data Protection Commission and say, after they have still registered, they are still receiving spam in their email. So what is the Data Protection Commission doing?
Then the question exactly how is being addressed on your phone and the apps on it and how they come in.
So you see, these apps and other things, you are the one who gave the app the permissions.
It's true.
So that one has nothing to do with Data Protection Commission. What the commission can do is any app that you are using, if they violate your rights, that is when the commission can come in, or they are not using it for the purpose. Because not only there are a lot of Ghanaian apps and other things in our jurisdiction.
Any app at all.
Any app at all.
If you know that your rights have been violated, you can still report
to the Data Protection Commission. Yes, but make sure you also didn't allow, because apps don't ordinarily have access to your photo.
They ask.
They ask.
Anytime.
Yes.
Anytime.
After some time, even every 3 months or some period, it will still ask you again. In fact, just yesterday, I had to confirm that of my Instagram. Yeah, so let's also take personal responsibility for the apps we download. You can't just be downloading every app that comes. Anyhow, you read their instructions.
Exactly.
Because they will tell you what and why they need it. For example, if you are going for a courier service, you order on any of these platforms, and the rider is going to deliver the food without your location, how do you expect the rider to come to you? So the app would need access to your location.
Yeah.
You are booking on any of these ride-hailing platforms, it needs your location. So without that, how does the driver locate you and pick you up? So some are essential for the particular purpose. But for example, any app that does not need location, asking for your location, you also should ask yourself, why does the app need my location? And Google sending you information. You don't need a SIM card for Google to send you information. You provided your email. You have internet connectivity is enough. So SIM card is not the only channel through which messages can be sent to you. It can be through several other means. Yes.
So we just have to check this on our side, being responsible. And I think it's one of the things that I usually do. Even on WhatsApp, my photos is limited. So I select the number of photos I want to send at a time, and then I do it. And it keeps asking me, don't you want to give access to all your photos? I say no. What I want to send, then I'll give you access to it. So all those are ways that you can, put a limit on that. We have another message. This is from Felix. He's watching from Kumasi Mamponte. Oh, good to know that, Felix. As a data controller, this is his message. Sometimes we receive gazette from data subjects because they want to make amendments to their information. This gazette usually comes with other people's information. Is that a breach from those who issued the gazette? Is the question clear?
Gazette is a public information, and it's something that is mandated by law to be published. So it's like publishing it in the newspaper. And once that's the government official newspaper, once it's published in the gazette, whether you are aware of it or not. So I get what you say, because, for example, when people want to change their name, the Ghana Publishing House, they give them a section, and it contains other people's. So gazette is a public information.
It's really
Yes, so that one, it will not be against, you can't hold the publisher for any breach. So it's allowed. It's published
So
in the
that one
graphic.
is
Yes.
fine.
Yes,
Okay, we
it's
have
fine.
another message. This is from Lovelands Nanayao in the UK, aka the British Chairman One. He says, "Good evening, Adobea. This is a splendid program. Ghanaians take things for granted very easily, and this is very educative. Thank you very much for such an amazing program. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. We will take the quick tech fixes, and we will be back after that."
Hi everyone, I am Michelle Lejakum, and as usual, I bring you some tech quick fixes and tips right here on Joy Geek Squad. Today, let's talk about how to improve battery life on your smartphone. If your phone battery drains too quickly, these simple changes can help. 1. Lower screen brightness. 2. Close background apps. 3. Turn on battery saver mode. Small changes can add hours to your battery.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. Geek Squad is brought to you by MTN. MTN everywhere you go. Tonight we've been having a conversation on your data, your identity, building trust in Ghana's digital future. And I've been having the conversation with Emmanuel Gadasu and Quentin Akroboto. So just before the break, we had some messages come in, and I'll just like to read one of the messages that we have. This is from Mensa. He said, "Of late, event registration agencies, without your consent, pass on your data to other event organizers to receive SMS and email broadcast. The Data Protection Authority should look into this." Quentin, I see you shaking your head.
Of course, that is a no-no. So the issue is we need to know the institutions involved in this, then we can actually go after them. I want to believe that, 1, they are not informed, they are not aware. 2, they are not registered with the commission. And these are things that, unfortunately, I'm not too sure they'll be listening to this program. But once it comes to our attention, we'll actually zoom in. There's no time for me to list the number of institutions that, as we speak, we are investigating.
Okay.
So if they can help us, we can go on our website, can send us messages, even on our website, can send us mails, and then we'll actually take this up and then follow up on them.
Okay. So the question I would have concerning this particular one, that he just follow up to that. If I attended a program and I realized that after giving my phone number example, I've started receiving some kind of messages, and I can tell it's based on the initial program, what do I do then? What step do I take as an individual?
Okay. So that is a violation of your rights, because that's not the purpose for which. So, for example, you have attended a funeral. Then before you realize that an insurance company is sending you funeral policy, then know that you can connect the dots. I came for funeral. Maybe you wanted my number to, as I made donations and other things. But if tomorrow, and I can reasonably decipher that, hey, this one is what because of the funeral I attended, that is seriously against my right.
Okay.
And if any harm has been caused, why not? Then I can go in for compensation. However, if not, also you can then report it to the Data Protection Commission so that they take the necessary actions against them.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So that, 2 actions can be taken, and both can be taken at the same time. You report them to the data protection, and the Data Protection Commission will sanction that institution. And if there is any harm that has been caused you, you now go for a remedy through the appropriate channels. It will end up in the court anyway, where you will be compensated. But the caveat is, you should have suffered some form of harm.
Okay.
At times, people's email are shared and they say, I will take you to court. I will take them on.
When you've not suffered any
if you
harm,
not suffered
you don't have
anything.
it.
That one, you only fall on the Data Protection Commission to give a sanction to that organization for doing the wrong thing.
How do people report? Is there a number they can report to? Or you mentioned the website. Can you just, at least for those who don't know?
So we have a number of contacts to the commission. I can actually give you one,
Okay.
but in terms of reporting through our website, you can just in fact there is a chatbot there through which you can report.
Can
You can
we
also
have
send
the
us a mail.
website, the URL?
www.dataprotection.org.gh.
Okay.
Okay. Then 0256 266 700. You can also actually reach the commission on that line as well.
Okay. All right. All too soon, our time is up. So, parting words. Emmanuel,
Yes.
I'm just going to ask you one practical piece of advice that you can give to every Ghanaian listening.
All right.
Okay,
So
30
know that
seconds. Yeah.
your data is you, regardless of whoever you have given it to. That is your personhood, your digital personality. So any abuse that you can suffer in the physical realm, in the digital realm too, you can also suffer same thing and even worse, because the digital realm is quite dicey and uncontrollable. It can move from place to place, and you are exposed to a lot of harm when your data is abused, misused. The physical one, maybe I would have to carry myself there, but the digital one can be very dangerous, and it will linger for a longer time. So that's why we should not allow organizations to go scot-free or just give out our data. Or when we can clearly see that somebody is abusing your data, you look on. Hey, it is your right. Go out there to exercise it.
All right. Thank you. Quentin, 30
All right,
seconds.
so thank you very much, Adobea. My message will be very brief, and it goes to institutions.
Okay.
When we protect personal data, we protect people, we protect trusts, and we also protect the digital future of Ghana. Let us all take privacy matters seriously. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Quentin. And a very big thank you to you too, Emmanuel, Gadasu, and Quentin Akroboto, for joining me this evening and for sharing with us. A very big thank you to you, our listeners, for joining us. A big thank you to my producer, Prince Safo, Mirabel, Oliver, and the entire team. It's been a great session this evening. A special happy birthday to you, Amos Dikenu of Cross Boundary, and also my sweetest friend, Sarah Aja. God richly bless you. God willing, next week we will be back. Up next is news. Afterwards, Kofi Hayford with Overdrive. Stay tuned.
Starting right now, I'll be strong.